when you look at some of the most popular blockchain programs right now, I think it's undeniable that Uniswap is probably the most popular blockchain program. Uniswap was made by completely brilliant people doing extremely intricate low-level programming. And but what it ultimately does is something that we can express in, I don't know, maybe like 200 or 300 lines of reach code, where someone with very little experience can build this program, and it really does all the same things that Uniswap does. And that to me is what it means to have that low floor. And the high ceiling is that if you're working with a 5,000 line program and you want to make a change, well, that change is like smeared across the entire 5,000 lines. It's really difficult to find all the components that need to change. And so that makes it so that your program is likely to be inflexible because you can't change things as much as you want to. And you have this limit of how far you can go in your design, because no matter how smart you are, there's going to be a limit for how much you can keep track of in your head. I think I'm pretty smart, and I can only handle, I don't know, like two pages full of code before I need to start taking notes. And so if the code shows is bigger and more detailed, then it forces you to remember more details, which ultimately means that you can't build as complex things. So that's what I mean by the low floor and the high ceiling. We want to bring more people in and make it so that everybody who comes in can build something more complicated and more interesting and ultimately valuable for consumers than what they could with traditional tools.
I think it's super interesting because it's sort of two objectives that people don't always associate together. One, making it more accessible so that any Web 2 developer can come into Web 3 really easily. But two, making things more possible, and so that everyone that does come in can kind of dream bigger and be more ambitious. And that's really where Reach sits relative to other tools that developers might use, is that it does both of those things, which is so amazing.